This says the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, in the clouds or the dust of his feet. I would love to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth, blessings, and safety to the men, women, and children that believe on the name Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai in truth and sincerity. To you, I say, Shalom.
Our top weather headline continues to be the excessive and dangerous flooding that's ongoing over the eastern sections of Kentucky. Unfortunately, there have been fatalities. There have been cars and homes completely submerged by this floodwater, people scrambling to the rooftops looking for safety. An extremely difficult situation. You can see some of the video coming out of eastern Kentucky with some of the rainfall totals here just within the past 24 hours exceeding 10 inches in many locations. And unfortunately, that's a lot of rain in a short period of time. The ground here extremely saturated, so any additional precipitation is going to allow for the rivers, the creeks, to swell even further and cause additional flooding. Now, we do have precipitation moving over the eastern sections of Kentucky, and unfortunately, there is additional rainfall in the forecast for the rest of today. It should start to clear out and modify as we head into the weekend, but we still have another 12 to 18 hours of more rain in this forecast. National Weather Service hoisting flood watches, flash flood warnings extending into portions of West Virginia and the border of eastern Kentucky, and flood warnings ongoing where you see that kind of a brighter shade of green in and around Hazard, Kentucky, where they saw near 8.5 inches of rain in a 12-hour period. That is a significant amount of rain. Stalled out frontal boundary, that is responsible for this excessive rainfall. It's really the confluence of air masses here getting a lot of warm, moist air and that influence from the Gulf of Mexico to the south. Look at what one river gauge in southeast Kentucky recorded. Their last observation at this particular point was near 21 feet. The old record was 14.7 feet at that particular river gauge. This is the North Folk Kentucky River. And as I mentioned before, there is more rain in this forecast through Sunday, the potential at least for the next 12 to 18 hours being our highest risk of additional flash flooding. You can see the heavy rainfall extending across the Four Corners where more of a monsoonal flow is impacting the Great Basin. You can see the flash flood threat is slight risk for that area. But the Weather Prediction Center does have a moderate risk of flash flooding again today for portions of eastern Kentucky as well as West Virginia. Now, switching gears and topics, the Pacific Northwest, well, we wish we could bring some of the rain there. Unfortunately, they're under an excessive heat wave. You can see the warnings in place for this particular region where temperatures are running about 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit above where they should be this time of year. The heat will continue through the weekend and then wane into the first parts of next week. Speaking of temperatures, 101 in Dallas today. No rain for you. The East Coast, lower and upper 80s, depending on where you're located. I'm CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam. Have a great weekend.